name is Amanda Fellows, and I'm the manager of community programs here at CFS. And CFS Counseling and Wellbeing is probably most known in the community for counseling services. So we've been here in Simcoe County for 45 years, and what people most know us for typically is our walk-in counseling clinics. We ran a lot of walk-in counseling clinics across the county for a number of years. Since the pandemic, we've transitioned our services slightly to kind of broaden what we do, and we offer in-person counseling. We have walk-in counseling in Barrie on Wednesdays, but we also have virtual counseling options and other in-person options across the county. And then we do a myriad of community programs. So we run programs for newcomers, we run programs for older adults, we run programming and group programming, mental health group programming for everybody. And then we also run a program called YouthCALL, which is for transitional aged youth. And YouthCALL is a program that supports youth between the ages of 12 and 25. It is focused on providing counseling services and other things, such as a drop-in program. So the room and space we're in right now, we run a drop-in here for youth every Wednesday. We also run group programs for youth. We provide these services in lots of different locations across Simcoe County. So we're at the Innisfil Library. We provide services here at our Ann Street office. We work out of the Common Roof in Aurelia, and we provide counseling in different ways. So for example, youth can access counseling services either virtually or in person in those locations. We also work in partnership with many different stakeholders. So for example, the YouthCALL social worker in Aurelia provides counseling support at the Lighthouse, and we'll also provide counseling support at Rapid Rehousing. And we partner with places like the City of Barrie and the Innisfil Library, and we have really lots of great community partners. And we're just in the process of launching our outreach van, which is intended to kind of destigmatize mental health services and support youth in some of the rural communities that we have across the county. So that van's going to launch in July, and on the van are hygiene products and Gatorade and snacks. And the idea is that if youth are looking to connect to services, either mental health counseling or harm reduction, they can find the van in the community, talk to one of the social workers, and get access to the supports that they need. So the reason that we thought a van was an important addition to this program is because Simcoe County is a massive region. It's the size of PEI and the biggest county in all of the province. And although we'd like to have bricks and mortar support in every part of the county, it's just not possible. Smaller communities don't necessarily have the space that we need in order to provide counseling supports on site. So the van it's a mobile outreach initiative. It allows us to plug into communities where we don't have bricks and mortar space and be able to support youth in those communities. And it just allows our reach to be bigger without having the pressure of physical space everywhere across the county. Starting in July, the van will have a schedule, so you'll be able to find that on our Instagram page or on our website. The van will the schedule will be pre-populated with spaces where youth will know the van is going to be every single week, and then youth can simply approach the van and get access to what they need. So whether they're looking for harm reduction supplies, whether they're looking just to get a snack, whether they're looking to get plugged in, maybe they want counseling services but they don't really quite know how to access it, then the social worker who's connected to the van will be able to then make sure that they get scheduled for a counseling appointment. They can talk to them about any worries they might have about counseling, really try to destigmatize what it means to get access to social service supports. The van is also intended to be a place where youth can get referred to other places too. So for example, maybe it's not mental health, but there's addiction needs. So how can we get them plugged into some of our partner services who provide addiction support? Maybe they need a primary care doctor. How do they get referred that way? Really anything, food insecurity, any of the issues that they're kind of facing. The idea is the van will then be in the community and we'll be able to the social worker will be able to get them support that way. Really, the impact we hope the van is going to have is that the reality is as much as we try and destigmatize mental health in the sector, For young people specifically, for all people, but for young people specifically, mental health is still a very taboo topic, and there is a lot of people have a lot of struggle reaching out, or young people have a lot of big feelings that they don't really know how to manage, they don't know what to do with, and getting plugged in to a social service agency is oftentimes not at the top of their list. And so a part of the outreach van is also going to youth where they're at in the community, right? So when they don't feel like they have the courage to walk through the door, or they don't even know what door to walk through, because that is it's a common challenge we have across the entire sector, is just, what is the right door? What are the eligibility criteria? The door gets closed sometimes because it's not the right fit, and then they don't know where to pick, like where to move themselves or what door to go through next. And so the van allows us to be in the community where youth naturally congregate. So maybe it's at a skate park, or maybe it's at a school, or maybe it's at a library. Where are they? And then going and providing that low barrier outreach. So it's like, hey, and building relationships and rapport, right? So maybe it's like, hey, do you need a Gatorade? Hey, do you need a snack? And it's a way to then start having more informal conversations with youth about where they're at and what they need, and then being able to actually be responsive to that and provide those wraparound supports. So I think if we're looking at like community support or community impact and how members of the community can support the van, donations are great. So we're always accepting donations of hygiene items, of things like socks and basic needs items, also youth-friendly snacks. So really important to us that we fill the van with things that are relevant to youth. So like craft dinner cups and Gatorade and chips and things that, youth can relate to. The reality for us is the van itself was funded through a grant through the Ontario Trillium Foundation, and so we were able to fund the van, the physical van, in that way. And so right now we are leveraging funding from other funding pots in order to support the staffing of that van. So of course we're always looking for ways to make that more sustainable, and so financial donations are great too towards the program, because it allows us to continue to staff that van and to pay for things like the gas it takes to drive it all around the county, or the maintenance of the van, because those things weren't necessarily included in the grant. Yeah, so as the van launches in July, we're really hoping that youth will come out and access the van. It's big and blue, and it has a llama on the side of it, so it's really hard to miss in the community. So if you know a young person that would benefit from getting access to support, please let them know about the schedule, where it's at. And you'll be able to find the schedule on our website of where the van will be. You can also follow us on Instagram or on Facebook or any of the social media platforms that we have. All of our updated information will be there. So we're really excited for it to launch, and we're looking forward to the summer and being out on the road.